The latest Kilcoyne Conversation actually was supposed to be a Martin and Marlowe. We were getting together with our good buddy Kenny Wallace, part of the racing royalty that is the Wallace family. But Chuck's got his truck in the shop. He's running around town, and I said, you know what? Kenny and I can do this. But we thought it'd be fun to get the trio together because 3.5 years ago, I think Kenny was covering the Daytona 500. We threw him on the radio, and everybody said, boy, that was fun. That guy's back in St. Louis after years living in Charlotte. So we started doing a segment called Tuesdays with Kenny, talking about racing, the Redbirds, rednecks, life, you name it. And people loved it. So this week especially, wanted to get Kenny on because it was just his birthday and because we got a huge racing weekend coming up at Worldwide Technology Racetrack with the Indy cars, doing a double dip, racing on Saturday and Sunday. It's always fun. If you're in a bad mood, Kenny gets you into a better mood. Just about guarantee that. The Kilcoyne Conversation brought to you by our great friends at Triad Bank, a St. Louis-based bank. They started in 2005 on Clayton Road. You can find them real easy to get to from Highway 40 in Lindbergh. St. Louis-based, which means if you're a small business owner trying to get things done, make sure you talk to Jim Regna, anybody on the team over there. They're going to be friendly and helpful. Not all the banks can say that anymore. It's sad, but it's true. The neighborhood-friendly bank, that is Triad Bank. Also, Marie de Villa Senior Living at the corner of Clayton and Weidman Road, the premier spot for your retirement years. Our good friend Red Shandians lived there for many years, was also on the board. It's just it's a retirement home that I call a campus, but also the festive nature, even in these troubled times. Fred Wiesahan and his wife always make sure that the residents there are having a good time. They'll bring in music, just the right approach all the time. Make sure you get a virtual tour. Do it online at mariedevilla.com. And B&G Tuck Pointing, the best in the bricks. If you've got a brick home, a brick garage, or just the chimney that needs repair, make sure to call B&G or go online, bgtuckpointing.com. Make your home, make your chimney look new again. Find out why B&G is the best in the bricks. And appliance discounters all around the St. Louis area, a real success story because it started real simple with just 3 employees, and now they've grown. And we're talking about the great products of Bosch. We've got a Bosch dishwasher. We put that thing to the test every single day. TheApplianceDiscounters.com is where you can find out more about the nearest location and all of their inventory. Check them out at TheApplianceDiscounters.com. Right now, the one and only Kenny Wallace. Let's start with the birthday. You know, I always say to people, when do you stop celebrating? But you're a guy who celebrates life every day. Tell us about the big 5-7.
Well, as my dear friend told me, you are 57 years young, Kenny Wallace. And I said, I like that. So I'm not 57 years old. And I'll take another one from my brother, Rusty. He goes, Herman, that's my nickname. He goes, it's joy to get older because you're not as dumb anymore. And I agree with that. I'm a little bit smarter now.
And what was the birthday? You were on the road from Arkansas. I saw you eating donuts and drinking beer, so I know how you capped off. It was a non-traditional birthday, I guess?
Very non-traditional birthday. I told my family, I said, please, no parties, no nothing. So, I still race a lot, and I was down in Paragould, Arkansas, actually a very nice town, and I raced on Saturday night. Well, my birthday was Sunday, but I had some people coming from Minnesota to purchase one of my race cars that I had for sale. Well, I had to get up early Sunday morning after having a good time Saturday night, pulled the motor out of the race car, did a lot of other things, and it got those fine folks from Minnesota, got my race car ready for them. Then I got back down to the house at 5 o'clock in the evening and a good meal. But the cake was great. But by the way, 380 calories per Krispy Kreme glazed donut. So, but 4 of them went down like sliders. It was awesome.
When you were a kid, so I'm imagining a Wallace family birthday. Do you get like a motorbike or a go-kart? Was it always something motorized?
My mom, Judy, mom's still living. She lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. She literally went, I guess you could say, uptown Arnold, Missouri, back in the early 70s and put down a payment on my very first motorcycle. Never forgot that motorcycle. It was a weird name. It was called a Hodaka. And by gosh, she got that thing paid off for me. And to this day, I'm in debt to my mother. And she made the last payment, and we were able to pick it up. And to this day, I will never forget my mother for doing that for me. We grew up very middle class, if not under middle class here in Arnold. So when I got something, I really appreciated it.
So most parents are freaked out, if their kids are on a skateboard. I'm guessing your mom and dad just kind of, they could go to a race and watch and not be nervous?
I think so. My mom will admit she's got a lot of tomboy in her. Wonderful mother. My mom took care of me while my dad and my two brothers, Rusty and Mike, were racing. Rusty's 7 years older than me, and Mike is 4 years older than me. So there's a little bit of a gap there. And, they were always quite a bit older than me. And so mom had to look after me. My brothers and my dad are like, take care of that kid. So mom took care of me.
Well, this is the perfect week to be talking because we've got racing on our minds. And I know, Kenny, you're friends with the folks over at Worldwide Technology Raceway. I know we still want to call it Gateway all the time, but it's Worldwide Technology Raceway. And this week, Indy cars are coming to town fresh off the Indy 500. Takuma Sato wins the Indy 500. He's also the defending champ at the Bomarito Automotive 500. I've always wondered this, too, because you made your living in NASCAR, your whole family did. Any competition between the open-wheel drivers and NASCAR, and ever any crossover, really, with people trying to do both? How often do you see that?
We've even seen Kurt Busch. Kurt, he's got a brother named Kyle, but it was Kurt that ran the Indianapolis 500 about 3 years ago. Shocked everybody, and actually ran like sixth in the Indianapolis 500. So there's been a lot of respect gained between IndyCar and NASCAR. And, I believe there's going to be some events where we're going to share the same venue, maybe within the same week in the future, because we need to do that. We need to join forces, and, we don't need to fight each other.
We talk about maybe one day NASCAR coming to town, and Curtis Francois has been asked about it a ton, but what do you think makes that happen?
There's a lot of money in St. Louis. A lot of people tend to forget that. We're deemed as, blue collar and all this and all that, but you can clearly see if you look on the list, St. Louis is a very wealthy town. We get roughed up because of some things that happened in our town, but there's some money here. There's some big companies, and NASCAR realizes that. They know that. And it'd be in NASCAR's best benefit, best bet to make sure that the Gateway Technology Raceway gets a really good cup event back here besides the truck series. We need to make sure the Xfinity series gets here and the Cup series. There's money in this town.
The best in the bricks. It's more than just a slogan. Why not make your home or garage or chimney look its best by fixing the bricks? That's what B&G Tuck Pointing can do for you. Bricks look their best with proper tuck pointing. Call Rich Galati and his team at 314-363-0525. And by team, of course, we include his daughters, Bella and Gabrielle. Or go online, bgtuckpointing.com, a proud St. Louis-based company that supports the hometown St. Louis Blues. Yes, they love their hockey. Chimney repair, foundation repair, caulking, waterproofing. They do it all. Have you driven around St. Louis? We have a lot of brick buildings, and if they need repair, you know who to call. Consider me among the many satisfied customers. Call 363-0525, 363-0525, or go online, bgtuckpointing.com, and find out what it means to be the best in the bricks. You love sports? Sure. But what you really love is a winning team and a great story. That's exactly what you get with Appliance Discounters. It started with just 3 employees. One location, 3 employees. Denise Bradley, her husband John, her brother Tony. That's it. More than a decade ago. And for years, you've heard me talking about them. Here's why. My dishwasher, it's a Bosch, the quietest dishwasher on the market. Remember Grandma's dishwasher always, That's not what's going on with us. We got it at Appliance Discounters. Our washer, our dryer, our stove, and our refrigerator, and Electrolux. Yes, the Kilcoynes put these babies to the test. During the quarantine, the MVP at our house, the dishwasher, it got a workout. We've got big name brands we're talking about at a great price. St. Charles, Baldwin, Maplewood, South County, and in the city. The best bet, just get online. TheApplianceDiscounters.com. Our savings are your savings. In watching the Indy 500, explain to folks when they, red flag versus a yellow, because late in the race, a horrific accident. Luckily, Spencer Pigot is fine. And I think Scott Dixon, who was runner-up, was sort of complaining about it. He didn't make a big deal about it. But how do they decide when they're going to just stop and start over versus finish under caution and just essentially say the guy in the lead's going to win?
Martin, the Indianapolis 500 is the biggest race in the world. Truly, it is. It's not the biggest race in the United States. The Indianapolis 500 is the biggest race in the world. It was an incredible disappointment to fans all over the world to see the biggest race end under caution. That is an old rule. It's outdated. It needs to be gone again. NASCAR used to do that, end the race under the caution. Very anticlimactic, and it was a shame to see that happen. I look forward to the Indianapolis 500 getting rid of that rule and never having the biggest race in the world end under caution ever again.
Well said, because I was watching saying, well, that doesn't seem very fun for the fans or maybe even for the drivers. We mentioned your birthday. You've already got the greatest gift, which is a cool Cardinal cutout. You watch the Cardinals now, and you're seated next to Tony La Russa and Bruce Sutter. I think Chris Carpenter is behind you. How did you get such great placement?
Well, here's the true story about the cardboard cutouts. Rob Fassalt, who is president of ticket sales at the Cardinals, is a big race fan. He's worked, I believe, with the Blues. He's also worked over a Worldwide Technology Group. So I have an in. I have a friendship with Rob. So about a month ago or 3 weeks ago, I texted Rob. I said, Rob, I see the Oakland A's have got them cardboard cutouts. When are we going to do that here in St. Louis? I will buy one. So lo and behold, about 3 weeks ago, he said, hey, send me a picture. So I sent him about 3 different ones. And I noticed the first game, I was covered up by somebody's big mug. And I didn't say anything about it. I just thought it was great. So I'm down in Arkansas on Saturday night, and Rob texts me. And he goes, hey, got you on the front row tonight. And then all of a sudden, my phone started going ding, 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 ding. They put me on the front row. And all my friends all over, even you, a lot of good people in the media, they said, man, can't watch this Cardinal baseball game because your mug's on the front row. So it was definitely a surprise to me. So thank you to the Cardinals organization, especially Rob Fassalt with ticket sales. What a great guy.
I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun. You look up and see John Hamm, John Daly. I mean, I find myself, I'm not even watching the game now. I'm kind of checking out the cardboard fans. What about not having fans in the stands? Now, I've said if any sport can maybe do it and not notice, and I don't know because I wasn't a race car driver, but I would think for a race car driver, it's less noticeable maybe than a hockey player or something. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. But on the other hand, it's absolutely brutal. We have to have the fans because, it gets deep into psychology. I mean, imagine you, Martin, going on radio or TV and nobody's listening or watching. We all have an ego. We all want approval. When you get deep into psychology, we do this not for ourselves. Yeah, we do a little bit, but we do it because, we're all in this together. I know that's a cliche here the last 6 months, but, when you do something, you want people to notice. And it's brutal. I mean, it's the worst. I mean, it really is. So, and the thing of it is that we all know that this coronavirus is never going to be gone. We've got to learn to live with it. Even the World Health Organization said that the vaccine is not the bullet. It's not something that's going to get rid of the virus. So we know it now. We have got to get 10,000 people back in Busch Stadium. My God, it seats 40,000 people. So come on. I want everybody to be safe. But this virus, hell, sometimes people don't even know they have it. They go and get tested and they go, I do? I got it? Well, I had a little bit of a headache. So that's really where it's at. It's a very dangerous virus. I get that, but everybody's got it. Hell, I've had it. You probably had it. So we got to move on.
Do you know that you've had it, or you just believe you must have, or did you actually have it?
it's kind of like believing in Santa Claus, right? I believe I had it, but also I know I had it. Back in March, my mother-in-law's birthday, I was super tired. Oh my gosh, I could hardly. It was all wanting me to dance, and I couldn't be the normal entertainer I could. And then I'll never forget going to bed that night. I was taking these deep breaths, and I thought, what in the hell is wrong with me? And it just cleared right up, and never thought another thing about it. But the thing about it is I look at our 7-time champion, Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, he's on a Saturday for the Brickyard 400 this year. All the NASCAR drivers, they got to get tested for it before they race. And they said, hey, Jimmy Johnson, you got the coronavirus. And Jimmy Johnson's like, I do? They said, you got it. They kept him out of the Brickyard 400, one of our most famous races on that Sunday. Then on Monday, they said, hey, you don't got it. So that's where we're at right now. It's very discouraging. It's ruining the world. And nobody knows what they're saying. Fauci don't know what he's saying. The CDC don't know what they're saying. I just listened this morning. They said, we're going to guess with these kids going back to school. And they really said it that way. They said, we're test and tuning right now. We don't know how this is going to work out with these kids going back to school. So this is truly where we're at. And we can't shut the world down anymore. We saw what happened there a couple months ago when we did that. It was devastation. So we cause more harm when we shut the world down. So we got to keep going.
We talk about no fans in the stands and, how it impacts a game or a team. I do wonder, like if I'm the Blues and I'm playing in an empty stadium, or even the Cardinals, do you think as competitors, it's hard to, these are highly driven competitive people, so I'm not going to question that. But do you think even for them, they kind of look around and say, boy, this does not feel right? Would it be hard to muster that competitive drive in such a sterile environment?
It's hard to do anything right now. My wife, who's a wonderful soul, true Catholic, just sweet as can be, she said to me about 2 weeks ago, she goes, everything's just so weird. I don't know what to do. I try to go to a restaurant, I know where it's closed. But then to answer your real question, think about these players that are put in these bubbles. They're expected not to see their family for 2 and 3 months. So that's got to be crazy on the athletes. They have no normalcy. And then the other thing on top of it, nobody's given any credibility to the Stanley Cup champions. Nobody's given any credibility to the World Series champions this year. We all know this. We're all just going along with what they got planned. And, it's just so strange. And everybody's looking around at each other going, what are we doing? And, the players are human too. It's like Tony La Russa said, these players are not machines. These are humans. Imagine, I was following Dexter Fowler, and he's like, I ain't seen my wife in 2 months. That's brutal. That's got to make you feel weird.
I'm going to finish with this. Just a little note for you. I'm calling you later because you mentioned machines. My lawnmower is just spitting out smoke, and I can't figure out what the F is going on. And I said, I need somebody who understands motors. I'm going to call. So you enjoy your birthday week, but I will call you later for some lawnmower tips. All right.
Martin, I can't do everything. I got a good little repair shop here off Lawndale Road and Old 21 Missouri Road. We'll call them up. We'll get you taken care of.
He's always smiling. He's always laughing. And since we recorded this, I've already talked to him off air, and he helped me get the lawnmower going. Looks like it was the carburetor. Got some gum out. And Kenny does repairs. How about that? We need to give him the new nickname, Cardboard Cutout Kenny. Pretty prominent. You watch Cardinal games, you'll see his cardboard cutout at times. He's always in great spirits. Love having him on the show, and hopefully everybody has a great racing weekend over at Worldwide Technology Racetrack. The Kilcoyne Conversation, as always, presented by Triad Bank, Marie Davila, Senior Living, B&G Tuck Pointing, and Appliance Discounters. Find them on the web, theappliancediscounters.com. We'll talk to you again soon.